Hi! Are you right now in a situation where you feel motivation is overrated? Well, I think so, and I think discipline is the key to change your life. Yeah. Today's video is about discipline and why does it matter more. So, like I said, today's video is about why discipline matters more than motivation, and I will tell you brick by brick and what you can do to provide a better chance to change your life and what can help you, some tips and the structure in general, some patterns, and yeah. So let's start. Let's start with a personal story. I've been through a lot of changes. It's only about change right now because I want to have a goal in front of me. To achieve it, I need to change myself. I change my lifestyle, change my outcome, my belief system, my whole wardrobe is changed. Later on in my life, I want to be capable of being a different person, and that means changing, obviously. But how should I change if I'm always trying and failing in it? Because you have a new interest, you have a new thing going on and you want it bad and you start because you're really motivated and you're trying to achieve it, but then something happens and you lost all interest just like that. Why so? Because you're not disciplined enough or consistent, because you try to have a pattern, you're trying to have a workflow, and if you're getting used to it, you quitting much more fast than you can think of. So in my story, I had many times started something, turned out to be good, but then after a while I just cut it off. For example, I was really, after my first breakups with people that I had in my life, I felt so left alone. Actually, I was really in a place where I said, why is it so? And I wanted to be a person who's not getting emotionally attached to a other being and being sad later on if he leaves our life. And well, that happened to me and I didn't want to be like that. And I asked myself, what can bring me a better pattern where I felt not alone or totally sad? It sounded so bad, but yeah. And well, I've been on a journey since then, and this journey is way better than before because I was always like pitting myself even down. And that personal change that I've been on this now for lately over a year now, and it brought me so much more just because I was disciplined enough to sit down and really do the work. And I will tell you what I did. Well, it started off really rough. I wanted to be a person who didn't show much power, but had a kind of a aura when she enters her room. Like, you know the presence if she's there, you know? And I wanted to have that because back in my childhood, I was bullied a lot and I didn't have that. When I entered the room, I felt scared. I felt nauseous. I felt anxiety hitting up my head and just messing around. And I didn't want to have that. So I sit down and really structure out what can change the way that I'm right now. And well, like I said, it started with my wardrobe. I changed it the whole the whole thing. I did say no, I don't want to wear stuffs because it's comfortable or functional. I want to style myself. And well, I sit down, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes I felt very overdressed because when I started it was really rough because I didn't want to show myself that much because I was still the teenager back then. In my head it was all like, oh my god, when you start something new, it's like you think about all the things that can happen, but you're not thinking further about what can brings you that. You think about, oh my god, everybody's looking at me, everybody's judging me, everybody's gossiping about me, but in actual case it isn't. You're thinking, you're overthinking, and I had that. And well, I started trying to style myself a bit more and a bit more, and well, lately I overstep sometimes the line where I'm said, oh my god, okay, that's much, but I still done it because I felt if I'm doing it now, later I won't feel anything like that before. And well, it worked for my favor because I was first really scared and this scariness could actually lead to not doing it anymore because I felt too afraid to approach the idea. So I stuck with it. Well, it's hard to explain, but when I tell you the tips and the patterns that you can have, you kind of understand more why I stuck with it. I talked to myself a lot to say, no, you sit down and you said you want to change, but you don't. What brings you that? You don't show up for yourself in that moment. You want to change? Then you can't expect every time you're trying something and telling yourself, oh my god, no, you're not allowed to do that because everybody will think about you bad. Yeah, let's do it tomorrow. I mean, who will even like you like this? I stopped this bullshit. I stopped it completely because I knew if I will still talk to myself like that, I will be really, I wouldn't have take the steps in the first place. I would done it, cut it off there and just left it there. And I would not be the person who's like looking after herself, making herself pretty as she wants to be, you know? And well, it turned out to my favor because I stuck with it. I said, you know what? I'm sitting down, I'm still doing it, even though it's really uncomfortable. I will go to the school, I will university, sorry, and I will dress myself as I want to be. And well, it helped me. It helped saying those words to myself that I did it. And afterwards, like I went there, the first hour it was totally uncomfortable, but then afterwards I felt so comfortable in myself because I said, hey, actually it is a good thing. It turned even out to my favor. And this personal story right now, I want to explain this discipline where you stuck, even though it doesn't matter how emotionally you feel, you're still doing it. That's discipline. Motivation will just let you have a few days of really stylish days and whatever, or you feel like you want to paint more and stuff, and afterwards you don't feel any motivation, you just stop with painting. Well, discipline is not like that. You should stuck with it. You should tell yourself, okay, you know what, I'm sticking with it because I said to myself I want to change it. Well, I'm not doing it. So if you want to paint something and you're doing it with motivation, it will go like this and I will drop down really fast. But if you're going with discipline, it will build itself over time, but it will get higher. So that's what I mean. If you're going with motivation, yes, it's okay, it's possible, but you need to understand you need to turn it out to be discipline later on, or consistency, because discipline and consistency are two separate things. They're similar or can be in the same section, but they're two different type of things. Consistency is you doing it. Yesterday you did it more than today, and tomorrow you don't even do it, but the next day you will still stuck with it and still doing it more than you did before. And discipline is really you did constantly the thing. Like if you're painting, let's say yesterday you painted 4 hours, today you painted 2 hours, tomorrow you will don't paint, and the next day you will paint again 4 hours. That's consistency. Discipline is something like you paint every single day 3 hours. And well, I did that. I stay consistent and disciplined, trying to find my way to manage both things, handle with both things, and it turned out to my favor because now my wardrobe is the way I like it. I wear the things I want to wear, I like the things I like to wear, and that's it. So yeah, that's a personal story. Now we come to the tips. Some major tips about discipline is also make your day a bit more structured in a way you know you want to draw a bit more. Let's say you want to draw a technique with ink. You sit down every single day and just do 10 minutes. It's not much. Even if you don't feel like motivated or you don't have a reference or just a clear picture that you want to paint, doesn't matter. Sit down and paint a bit. It doesn't need to be really long hours, just 1 hour and stuff. Yeah, sometimes we start a painting and we don't finish it and it's just stands in a room. Doesn't matter. This is something to show up for yourself, kind of a situation where you show yourself, okay, I know I will not finish this picture, or I know I feel really stupid or just not comfortable finishing the picture, but I show up myself and sit down and did the work because I know I want to be more and better in drawing. I want to learn more techniques and stuff. So if I'm sitting down and doing it now, in 1 year it comes out of your favor. You need to think always to the next level, to the next years. if you sit down and doing something, don't say, oh my god, if I'm doing this, I need to do it tomorrow, I don't know what to do and stuff. No, think of that, trying to trick your mind to say, oh my god, in 1 year I will be mastering this ink because I sit down every single day, even though not every single day I sit down, but trying to sit down every single day and just drawing 10 minutes will turn out to my favor because it comes together in an amount of time that you invested time in yourself, where you learn techniques and it just makes your skill even better. So in 1 year, you will be the better version of yourself. Having a routine comes out for your favor too. Let me tell you something. I was a person who waked up every single day so differently that it even messed up my sleep schedule, but also showed unconsciously to yourself, it doesn't matter if we wake up today because, I mean, what should we do? A routine shows waking up every single day on a not always on the same time, but just like, let's say during 7 and 8 p.m. you're waking up and then you're doing this stuff: journal, drinking morning coffee, making your breakfast, showering, getting yourself ready for the day, I don't know, reading a book and stuff. Having a routine and build these patterns in brings out a consistent and disciplined version of yourself that you can even put out in other works. Having a routine, drinking morning coffee, reading, doing something totally else, brings you also kind of a pattern who unconsciously fixated in yourself to when you work on something else, automatically you can build a routine in there too. So having a routine is not a bad thing. It's not something where you're like, oh my god, it's always the same. You get bored. Yeah, you will get bored because if you're not doing it constantly enough, you feel like, oh my god, after a while it will feel boring. But in this point, you need to say to yourself, okay, I don't care. I built this routine for a reason. So why not sticking with it? Even though it's boring, because the emotions, you're putting that aside. If you're building something or you're changing your habits and whatever, so that thought of, oh my god, I don't feel emotionally enough and whatever, needs to be gone. So the pattern can actually start there. The habit will get in your routine, get into your system. So waking up in the morning, you know, okay, my routine, waking up morning, doing my bed, bringing the stuff down to the kitchen, just doing some chores and stuff, doing my breakfast, getting my coffee, getting up here at my desk, sitting down and journal. That's my routine. Every single morning, I'm doing this. I don't care if I have work on that day. I don't care if it's on a weekend. I still show up to myself and doing my routine. And it helps because the more I done it, the more I knew, okay, this morning I only need 1 hour and afterwards I can do so much productivity things or just being lazy and doing nothing as I want to. Another tip is no negotiation. And I mean it. I mentioned that a few times now. Emotions are okay, but they should not get in your way, because if they get in your way and you feel, oh my god, I don't feel like it, I'm being the lazy version of myself, being disciplined brings nothing then. Being consistent brings nothing then. You accept then the faith of you not changing, and if you want to change, you're putting the emotions aside. The emotions have nothing to do in your discipline. Discipline is something where you need to put your thoughts, your kind of emotions away, because they have nothing to do on this point there. So if you're trying to negotiate with yourself, you lost. You gave up already by negotiate with yourself, and that's it. So if you really want to be determined enough, do a pattern, a routine, just being disciplined, you need to think of how to trick yourself to get to the point where you know, okay, I'm right now in a situation where I develop a habit. So what I done is, when I start something completely new and it holds already over a month, but then I kind of think of dropping it out and my negotiations thoughts are coming, in that point, in that situation, in this moment, I say to myself, no, 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 there's no way I'm thinking about this in that point right now, because if I'm starting to do it, this goal that I have in 1 year, it will disappear. It's invisible. It will be gone. It's so no negotiation. If you really want to do it, you sit down on your butt and you do the work. So yeah, this is a little transfer to the next clip. So here's the intro. So yeah, I think that angle is perfect. Huh. And welcome back. Yeah, you ask why I have a different angle or a different back frame. Well, during the recording, I made my storage full, so it just cut there. And then I said, if I transfer it to my laptop and then delete it on my phone so I can retake another video, it will work. It didn't because I, dumbass, forgot to turn on the microphone. So the whole footage after that is is totally without any sound and just no, it's annoying. It's just annoying because I was so into it and I was so putting passion into this one clip. Anyways, I guess they had different plans with me in that point, so I'm retaking this clip. That will be fun because I don't know if this microphone turns off because I'm now anxious about it. So let's go. Yeah, you sit down on your butt and you do the work. Like I said, that's actually it. That was the last sentence for that topic. We're going on to the next topic. It's about tracking your progress in general because what I learned during that time, during this kind of transforming into a different person, in this kind of a process, I learned how much actually making my daily work easier if I'm having some applications or some system or some apps where it just gets easier for my whole day, where I don't waste time on some certain things, where I just can just do it digital and just, schedule out everything and then afterwards work with that. If I don't do it, I can tell you I felt really not devastated, but more like I didn't have anything under control because I was so overwhelmed. All the things I had to keep tracking in my head. And let me tell you something, you can do it. I'm not doubting that there's a one person out there who is able to do that, but I'm not the person. I'm not. So I have my ways. I found some really good apps or just in general applications like Notion, because one thing I want to say, it's not sponsored or anything, it just I found myself easier programs just to know okay what I can work with. So I tested out and I stuck around with Notion, not gonna lie. The Mac calendar is perfect too, but it's not something where I can just, move the things on the easiest way. So Notion is really a good thing. It has a calendar, it has so many possible, it has mail, it has track, like I said, the tracking program, and it has so many other opportunities. I stuck around with the calendar and Notion tracking because with that I keep my routine, my spending behaviors, or just general in spending. I keep track on daily to-dos that I need to do. I put them in there and it's so much easier. So I'm making it not harder. Like you already know, there's a sentence out there, not gonna lie, it's a good sentence because everybody can work that. Don't work hard, work smart. So that's what I did. With Notion, I do that. In this point, I feel like really that thing, that program, it's my heart, okay? Not gonna lie. If they want to sponsor me, like I said, downloading, finding things out in your way, trying to maybe make it on a piece of paper, because some people they find it much more easier to write it down than having it on a tablet or just on a laptop in general. So I'm not gonna lie, I have it synchroned with my phone and my laptop, so both things working really perfectly fine, because if I'm outside and I have not my laptop with me, I just can pop it up on my phone and just look what I need to do still on the afternoon or something, and it's so much easier because it's possible. I mean it. And with tracking that and with putting all the things that I do in my daily day basis, it is so much easier to move those things and see, okay, I can't get a coffee because I need to do this work, this, I don't know, drawing or something, or recording like I do right now. And it's better to do it in a way where you can beneficial yourself. So afterwards, you can still do it if you've done the work. You will still have time. Next chapter is patterns. I actually think I mentioned a few patterns already before, but let's just go through them once more, just in case. Yeah, the first pattern is motivation is emotional, okay? Because it comes and goes. And let me tell you something, if something is emotional, if you you want to develop something, you want to change your life, you want to build something on your own and stuff, just no, don't do it on motivation, because it's one day it's gone, one day it comes back and hits you, and you're like, oh my god, yes, I can now do that work and the other work and this project and this problem. And no, you will. I bet you will start, and maybe better than without discipline, but you will still fail afterwards because motivation will leave you. And if it's left, this motivation that you have, you will look at this project and you will feel like, nah, I don't feel like it, and you will leave it. So no, we're saying no to motivations if we don't connect it with discipline. If you start something with motivation and afterwards connecting it with discipline, it is such bonus point, not gonna lie, because you have the big start, and with discipline you can constantly hold it. And that's what I mean. Motivation only is not to work with. If you know the methods, if you know some knowledge, or just in general thinking how to provide yourself with a good system, that's the easy part. Then you already done the work. You already are on a good way. Don't doubt it. Please don't, because I've been there. I have now a different mindset because I wanted to change it, and now look at me. I'm recording. Don't feel judged. Don't feel any kind of a pressure on myself, because that's who I am. I changed my mindset because I didn't want to be like, oh my god, what if people think about this and they gossip? No, I don't care. If they do, they wasting their time, not mine. So good to go. Another pattern is what I caught on so many times, not even with myself, even with my friends and some family members. They wait for motivation to start something, but it often never comes in the way they want to. Like, it's not knocking on your door and say, oh my god, hi, I'm the motivation, let's start. No. And I think people really kinda neglecting it, because I think we are so many times been thought of waiting to opportunity and stuff, but never been thought of do it yourself. Take the opportunity yourself. Just start. And I mean it. Believe me, when I started my first video, I never knew that I was being able to do that. And now I'm doing even my fifth video. It is not much. It's not even a process. It just is a start. But I started because I took opportunity and just uploaded a video of myself blabbering about girls talk by the wrong guy. And it was not a good video, but I still done it, and I still uploaded it because I know it's shitty, but I learned from that. The next video I did better. The next video I did better. And now I'm doing it even better because I feel more comfortable, feel more present with myself in this moment, more accurate, more experience, even though it's just 5 videos. Yeah, 5 videos. I uploaded only 3. What happened to the other 2? Well, same problem. They were not good enough. I cut it and the whole thing just trashed itself, okay? And I needed to retake it, but I didn't want to retake it. I did something else. I learned from it. So don't wait, take the opportunity and go for it, because we live once in this life. There's a whole big world. Don't wait on your miracle motivation to start something. Take time and just jump. I mean it, just jump. And the next pattern is what will connect to the other patterns, because discipline is steady. It's a system. It doesn't disappear. It doesn't go. It's steady in this point. It will be there if you need it. You will see it. You will feel it. You will know, oh my god, okay, I can rely on it. Because not even if it's not a feeling, it's something you created for yourself in your environment. And the system is not only working when you're constantly asking for it, it will even work without you knowing of it. So if you have discipline, it's so much better. It's a good thing that you have it, because your work will be so much easier to do. Your hobbies or your goals will be so much easier to accomplish. So really, if you want to have discipline, kick in your guts, take the emotions in for a second and just ignore them and do it. If you're going to the gym, you know you have a leg day and you hate leg day, okay? Because I caught on so many people, they hate leg days. I'm not quite sure if I'm still liking it or not, but yeah, take the emotions in. You know you will hate it, but then put your gym clothes on and just leave the house, go to the gym and do your workout, because afterwards you will feel so much better afterwards, because you did something for your health and for yourself, because you went for it. So last but not least, and that's the lesson, I need to read that shit, because what I write it down is discipline builds trust in yourself. Each time you show up for you and yourself, you prove you can. I feel the sentence because wow, finishing groceries, health habits, goals, tracking, gym. That's the kind of example I want to give. You get the lesson? Because the whole video, I get you so many patterns and opportunities to do it. So the next lesson is confidence is not about perfection. It's about consistency. And yeah, one day you will not do it, but the next day I bet you should kick your ass and just move your body, because next day will be harder, but if you put the work in, if you still start and move your body, ooh, this consistency and this discipline, it will not only kick your guts, but you can be certain of it that you on the right path, pill. If there is a man not coming out of you, not gonna lie, bye. And the last lesson of the day, and that's motivation might start the journey, but discipline carries you to success. Like I said before, in this one pattern, if you're connecting it right, the lesson that I said right now, the last one, will be so good for yourself. And it will take time, not gonna lie. It took for me over a year to build discipline, but it was worth it so much. Not only I'm putting it in my studies, not only putting on in my projects, my drawing habits, my drawing skills, not only in this right now, in so many other things. And it's just the result is so much better because I finish it, and I hope your journey will be easier too afterwards. So yeah, stick around because the next video will be about about my about the startup that I went to in my university, and it will be like a summer camp, and I will talk about it a bit and show a bit you what I've been going through. So hope you like it, and leave a follow and a like. So yeah, bye bye.